we have over here tikkun nefesh, right? How a person has to fix his neshama. Right? If you pay attention to the pictures, it's Shavit Hashem L'negdi Tamid. So I want to show you something fascinating. Over here, if you look in the Keter, correct? You have your Keter, you can see from there. Any Avodat Hashem Siddur has this.
Yeah,
if you take any Avodat Hashem Siddur, it has this.
The menorah?
Huh? No, that's the menorah, the Hashem's name. Any Avodat Hashem Siddur, if you take it, it has this. So what happens if you look over here? Look, it says Galgalata. That is the skull. I want to show you something very fascinating. Keter, this is the Keter, this is the crown, which is Hashem's name. You see the Yud Kei Vav Kei, that's with the Nikudot, with the vowels. Yeah. When you go to the right, it's Moch Yamin. It's a person's right side, right part of the brain, which is Chokhmah, that is wisdom, which is Hashem's name, different Nikudot, different vowels. If you look at it, it's different vowels. You see it? It's, yes? Here, watch this, hold this, follow with me. Now, when you have moch small, now you have the left brain. That's bina, that's understanding. You see the Hashem's name is different nikud. Yeah. Listen how beautiful this is. This is called Dat Elyon. This is all called the upper, now the Dat Elyon. It's in Kabbalah. Now Dat Tachton, we go lower. You have to a person's right, his right ear. You have, look at the way Hashem's names are spelled out. Then right next to the Oz Yamin, you have Ozen small. The left ear, look at Hashem's names. Yeah. Then you have Ain Yamin, then you have the right eye. Look at Hashem's names. Then you have Ain small, the left eye, look at Hashem's names. I'll explain what all this means. This is the most wow. Then you have the mouth, Peh. This is all Hashem's names for the mouth. What you have to think, I'll explain what it means tikkun nefesh. Then you have Zoro Yamin. Then you have a person's right hand, which is Chesed. Then you have Zoro small, which is Givura, which is strength. Then you have the Guf, which is Hashem's name, which is the Yisod, meaning the bottom portion of a person's Brit Milah. That's very dangerous when people Chasam play with it. Then you have the Yerech Yamin. Then you have the right side, which is Netzach. That's where you put Hashem's name. Then you have the Yerech Small, the left side, which is Hod. That's how you have Hashem's name. By the way, we started all doing all this with Rabbi Saban and Markevet Paro, by the way. Then you have Ateret Malchut, which is this Hashem's name. Now, when you look at all these names, something very fascinating happens. Do you know what this is? Every morning when a person wakes up, he has to remember that he is a chariot of Hashem. Listen carefully to what I'm telling you. You know what it means, the chariot? You are like the kiseh, the chair, for where Hashem rests. That means that whenever you watch newspaper, news, Lolenu, Chas v'Shalom, you watch, I don't know what people watch. But whatever you do, you have to understand, you are blemishing Hashem's names.
If you watch the news, you're blemishing.
Yes, Lolenu, Chas v'Shalom. Let me finish. One second, I don't care which babos are screwed or not, I'm telling you what the Torah requires from us. That means your right brain, your left brain, you're blemishing Hashem's name of those each side. When your eyes see something improper, or they look at a person who's a rasha, or a person who's angry, you blemishing that those of Hashem's name. When your right ear, your left ear hear lashon hara or curse words or negative things, you blemishing that. When your right hand, your left hand do things bad, you blemishing that. Your legs, your mouth, your brit milah. Do you know what this comes to teach us? I think something very fascinating. When you wake up in the morning, you have to remember that your whole body resembles Hashem's name. You have to be so careful not to chas v'shalom ever sin. Why is this so important? Because we don't realize. You know, Rabbi Saban told me something fascinating. There's a lot of Hasidim that from Elul to Tishrei, they don't use the left hand. Listen to this careful. Why don't they use why don't they use the left hand? Very fascinating. Listen to this carefully. Because the left hand represents din, judgment. The right hand represents chesed, like we just saw. So they try to do everything with the right hand. Everything with the right. They want to do. They don't touch it. Why? Because whatever actions you do in this world, you have effect in the upper worlds. There's 10 sefirot. There's different worlds in Shamayim. You have effect over there. How you going to affect it? Whatever you do over here, it affects there. So do everything with the right hand. Everything with the right hand until Tishrei. Now pay close attention. Yeah, I want to show you something. Pay close attention. One second. There's a lot of questions for this. Watch this. If you look at my suit right now, right is chesed. Left is judgment. Right? We tell you never go like this. Right? Always go like this. Always chesed. Even when the Ben Ish Chai tells you have to wash, you take with the right, you give to the left. Correct? Don't give back the Ben Ish Chai says to the left. To the right, with the left. The cup. Put it down and take with the right. Allah you can do, but the Ben Ish Chai says because you never want the side of din to, listen how fascinating this is. You never want the side of din to overpower the chesed. That's what they say you should not put your fingers together. Why? What happens if you put your fingers together? You make bilbo, you mess up the whole world over there because you take din and chesed with din and you mix them up. That's why it's not good to put, besides it goes your mazal, but that's why it's not good to put your fingers together. Now watch this, look at our suits. If I have my suit like this, what goes on top of what? Pay attention. Left on top of right. Pay close attention. Chas v'shalom din goes on top of chesed. Watch this. Shirt. Din on top of chesed. You ever paid attention to a woman? You ever paid attention to a woman?
Opposite.
Opposite. Their shirts are opposites. Their suits are opposite. It's just like this. Their butt. You ever paid? Why? Because women are kulul din. They're all judgment. Women are all judgment. Men are all chesed. Women are all judgment. So what did Hashem do? He had to neutralize that. He said, you guys have to wear the right on top of the left. The shirt, the right on top of the left. Everything, the right. Why? And this is why woman wants to get married. They have to cover their hair. Because a woman who does not cover her hair represents judgment. Hashem says, cover your hair so your husband can have berachot. The Zohar says, Chas v'shalom lo Zohar Kodesh. A woman doesn't cover her hair, all the parnasa she destroys. All the curse that the husband gets, she does. Anything that happens to the kids is because of her. A woman, Lolinu, must cover her hair because it's all din, and that's what Lolinu, the family, Chasron has problems. But listen to this. But you know when we learn this, Hashem's name, how careful we have to be not to curse. How careful we have to be not to say anything negative. You know, Rav Yenuka, the Yenuka from Israel. People down from Parnasa. What are you down for Parnasa for? Because the fact that now that we know that we are able to have effect, that Hashem's name is on us. We are like the chair of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Whatever we do here, we give him that strength, and then that whatever the way we behave here, we give it to Hashem, and then he showers the blessing back to us like that. You ready for this? So if you're positive, Hashem is going to give you positive things back. If you're negative, it's going to happen negative. That's when you ask for parnas. Don't ask, give me Hashem this money. You ask Hashem, I want to become wealthy. I want to become very rich. You're not asking me 5,000, 10,000. You want to become rich because whatever your machshavot are, that's what Hashem is going to want to give you. Wherever your mind is, that's where you are. That's where your mind has to be tahor because you see you have the right brain, which is Hashem's names. Your ears, your eyes, your mouth. When you speak, you got to be careful never to chas v'shalom say a word, a negative word. That's why he brought down Rabbi Saban. He said, if you ever went to the Lubavitcher Rebbe, what did he say? He never called the hospital a Bet Cholim, the house of the sick. Why? Because people are sick there, correct? He called it Beit Rofim, the house of healers. Why? To enact that attribute, Rabotai. This is why whenever you do, especially women, never, ever, ever say anything negative. Now, Barot, always think positive. Always say positive. If you have to say something negative, say it in a positive way. But never, ever. Why? Because by you saying it, you turn on a channel that goes straight to Hashem, and it brings back down that thing. Or person says, you ever see a child run? Oh, don't run, you're going to fall. You just did it. You have to think positive. You think positive and it's going to be positive. This a person has to be careful with his body. That's why not to sin Rabotai. Hashem's names are resting on all your body. And what do we do with this body? With our eyes, with our ears? Lord, Rabotai, I do not want to speak. But this is it, Rabotai. A person has to realize that he's every time helping Hashem. That's what he says in the Vayichul Hashem Haaretz, that we become partners with Hashem. How do you become partners with Hashem? How do you become, we so small, become partners with such a God, Hashem? Because yes, by us acting the right way, we turn on the switch of kindness, and all that Shefa comes down to the whole world, and also to us mainly. Because it's of us the whole world is continuing. That's what Rabotai, which is done for Am Yisrael, that they understand it's very, very critical. Okay.